Howdy folks. First of all, is my mic working? Hopefully it is. Welcome to my launch party. I've been working on this holster for obviously a very long time, pretty much since the second the ARC was announced. I started working on the leaked 3D model. I made renderings to Reddit to that effect. I really wish I would have gotten in on the REI early release because I could have had this ready at ARC launch if I did. Maybe I should have paid a scalper. However, for some of the folks who see my live streams and other things, you can see how much work I put into the CAD. I've literally been up till about 2 a.m. past couple nights. I rendered 648 images so that everybody can see exactly which color you want, what belt options you want, and what your configuration looks like. For those who might have already pulled up the product page, I guess I should double check that it went live. It was scheduled to. Nope, not yet. May not be 7 p.m. on Shopify's servers yet. Be aware that the pricing is now variable depending on configuration you pick because the new armored versions do cost more. That has to do with the fact that instead of having and I'll switch cameras here. Instead of having this empty front, because they have a closed front, those armored versions will end up costing me more to make. So basically everything has just a fixed $6 discount or sorry, $6 profit margin on these right now. That's actually less than 15% standard profit margin, but I'm doing that for this kind of early release today. Let me catch up on a little bit of chat here. See here. Thank you, Derek. And I won't be able to catch everybody's names. I'm usually just bad at even reading the names, so it's kind of just have to sort through those. It looks like Shopify has not published it yet. Let's get that fixed. Let's go ahead and just force publish these. All right. So there's going to be 3 web pages. I'm working on the website to make those so they kind of get merged into one. But for now, there's an armored version with a full face cover. That ends up looking like this. There's an armored version with a pocket clip compatible face. And let me get that one published. The pocket clip compatible face looks like this. It is also compatible with the barnacle bit holder. And then the standard open face, which is what I carry. And the open face will be the lower cost option. And unless you really need the armored face, I wouldn't go for it just because of the extra cost involved with that. Howdy, Adam Thomas. What did you miss? Nothing really yet. Just trying to get these pages so they're actually active for people to order. They are active now. So the link, I'll post it in here. And you'll have to pick between open face, armored full, or pocket clip. And then again, the profit on these is just a fixed $6 profit, so you can pick which variant you like. The white colors, for example, are going to be cheaper than... Actually, let me pull up the product page so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. And let's make this a little bigger. Shove me over to the side. Oh, cover myself up. So the open face version, let's get this even bigger. Actually, let's switch off to a different view here. Nope, not gonna have a good way to do that. But basically, you're gonna need to select what belt clip you like, including none is an option. And then you can expand the picture and you should be able to see the detailed rendering both with and without the accessories installed. Again, you're not getting 3 holsters here, 1 holster per order, just to demonstrate so you can see every side of the holster with just a couple of pictures. You can pick slim with no side options, or you can pick with side grips. On pretty much every version, including the horizontal carry, in slim or non-slim. Same goes for the, jump over to the ARC, back to the ARC page. Any of the armored versions will have detailed renderings showing the 711L, the Volti switch. Now, if you don't want to carry either of those two, you can put a bit into those 2 slots, so you can carry as many bits that fit on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more, so 21. I'm sorry, 7 plus 4. I screwed that up. 11 bits. The 21 or 20 bits is if you carry the extra, which has 16 bits on the back, plus 4 on the side. And that's the entire Leatherman bit kit, excluding the microbit driver on the back of one holster. So that's this guy right here. Of course, with no belt option. Catch up on a little chat here. Merchandise says is invalid for the selected shirt. Maybe need more time. I did update the discount. Let me double check that for you here. It was initially set to go live at 7 p.m. and maybe Shopify has decided 7 p.m. just like the other thing. So let me double check that discount code for you. If I can find the discount section here. There it is. Now the discount code's only good on the merchandise, on the Printify items. And let me make sure that that Printify item collection is doing its job, and that might be the other glitch here. Yep, it says 0 products in there. Come on. Sorry about that, folks, then. Let me just set those products directly. Okay, that discount code should now work. It's definitely got the 2 items listed, which is currently the t-shirt. I'll show you that shirt. So this is the ARC t-shirt. And then the other one is being used as my desk mat here. I haven't received my desk mats yet, but I have gone ahead and made them available to sell. The t-shirt is really nice. Let's go ahead and move some stuff so I can just show some of this in detail. The print comes out really nice. It almost looks silver as far as looking at the pliers there. The Leatherman ARC shows up here. And I've already gotten compliments on the shirt from somebody who thought it was kind of a Star Wars shirt with like a bunch of spaceships or something on it. Bring all my stuff back in so I can demonstrate as needed. All right, let me catch up some chat here. So scalpel holder for the ARC is still not available. I haven't checked the site yet. So Adam, that is coming soon. I have my prototypes for that arrive to me or ship out to me the 21st. So I will have those for next week, hopefully. I'm going to switch off. Here's the plastic prototype. And I think I even actually have it. Did I install it on one of my tools here? I forget. Nope, I installed the comb. But in any case, the thinner version is on the way. If you want to replace your scissors, you can use the version that's already on the website. But the shipping was long, or the production time on those was longer, so I ordered those separately. Nick's knife trying pretty good for a guy who hasn't slept this weekend. So by the way, what it literally involved was, and I'll switch over here, opening up KeyShot right here. Let me switch this to a view. Basically going and hitting render and then waiting 25 seconds per render, and that was me accelerating the render a little bit and then running a noise reduction algorithm on top of it for every single color. So for example, I can change this now to purple, and then every single variant. So if it has the BDU loop, if it has, so this is the open clip loop. So I can turn on, like, for example, change which belt is in the background, duty belt, things like that. So every possible configuration, but that makes it so that nobody has basically any question about what the holster is going to look like and how it's going to kind of fit on a belt for you. Would like to see the vertical versus horizontal looks like actually wearing it on a belt. Yeah, so D, if you're on the web page and you click horizontal loop, this is what it's going to look like on a belt. Now it doesn't show the left versus right. It is flippable between the two different sides. I can show you what that looks like in KeyShot here. So it's paused. And this is going to have every variant turned on. So bear with me for a second. This is what I'm having to do. So let's turn on horizontal. For example, actually let's just turn on just the center one so I have less to mess with. And let's say you decide you want to get the armored full version with grips. Let's see. And I have the open fit. I think I have another one turned on still. Now the armored full version is only compatible with the lanyard, so we'll hide the pocket clip. And let me unlock the camera. So this is how the horizontal fits onto a basically normal belt. It can fit a little bit thicker belt than shown here, and then you can flip it between either left-hand carry or right-hand carry. So if I literally just grab this entire thing, I'll have to undo the flip afterwards. Oh, plus I got a belt shown here too, so I don't need that turned on. A second, turn off that belt. So if you're going to carry this on your left side, you're going to end up with a ratchet on top, basically. All right, let me catch up with some more chat. I'm going to try to answer one question at a time and then try to grab the next one. Kosh Kerr bought it, thank you. Derek Manelli, I was glad you put the armored face on. I own a farm, and the amount of things that can catch on, hit, jar, etc. The open face worried me. The price is better than losing my tool repairing the fence in the weeds. Now let me show a little bit of the armored version prototype here, just so you can guys get a feel for it. So right now this has got my free P4 in it. Now again, all these holsters are compatible with either the ARC or the free P4. So if you already have a P4, you can do that. The armored version was in response to demand that from different customers, but also a fairly irate customer that I want to take care of that has a garage number 5, and he says it dropped 3 times from his holster, and he wanted something with a stronger retention. So the response to this is a couple of different things, and I'll show this holster, which is the open face third-party clip. But this slot down the middle is much longer than on the garage number 5. So let me grab the garage number 5 as an example. So on this one, it's just this kind of little bomb shape, which I like the little bomb shape, it was kind of cool. But what it does is your tool is loose until you click it in. Now it makes a little more satisfying clicking sound than the ARC. However, it also means that if you jarred the bottom, it's now completely loose and just falls out. So on all the ARC holsters now, basically if you pop that, it still doesn't come out. So that's, I'm trying to show us on camera. Don't have enough vertical space here. But in either case, basically until it gets halfway out. So right here is the point where it's loose now, and it, by the way, still isn't falling out because it's catching right here. So until it gets all the way to here is the only time it's fully going to fall out on you. Here it'll fall out, but actually just halfway docked, and now it's not falling out all on its own. So that extra long slot was the adjustment for that. Now on the armored holster, and I'll have to do the version with the pocket clip because I have the pocket clip still on my ARC. There's basically a lip here now so that even if you rub up against something, you can't, dislodge the holster unless you get right pushing, perfectly on that spot. And it does take a little bit of force to pop up. And even once again, it's popped up, it's not coming out until you just pull it out. Now one thing on the armored versions also to be aware of is a little bit of convenience where you have to click that and then secondarily pull. On the non-armored versions, you just simply grab the tool, pull it out, and it's already in your hand, ready to go. So just be aware that there is a little bit of a convenience there with the open face holsters that make them easier to pull out. All right, let me catch up here. Oh, I got a lot more chat I need to catch up on. I'll have to go a little faster on my replies here. OpenFace is $6 when open selection. So again, the pricing on the website now, and let me switch over here, is set to basically, depending on which configuration you pick, this price is going to change. And again, I just did a fixed profit as low as basically I could get away with on what Shapeways charges plus what Shopify charges basically. And so these have less than the industry standard of a 15% profit margin. So that's as low as I can go. The price will depend on what selection you pick. It also picks on what color. White is cheaper and colors are more expensive because Shopify or Shapeways charges to do the color processing. I've been historically basically going for a larger price. Now the reason why these cost a little bit more than the Garage number 5 was that Shapeways was grandfathering me into some older pricing. And basically because these are a new upload, they went with their new pricing model. So it is what it is. Again, I only have a low profit margin on these. That's also why I've gotten the discount code for folks to at least be able to get the merchandise with some discount. Because I can actually have enough profit margin on those to have a little bit of a discount for you guys. But I can't really do it on the holsters or I'll make absolutely no money on this at all. Let me double check and make sure that the discount code is here in chat. Now this discount code's only good for 24 hours until tomorrow. It will automatically turn off at 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. And let me get the actual link for anybody who wants. That code will again be good for just the Printify, the t-shirts and the mouse pads. Are all the colors accurate? They look duller in the rendering, which I like. Actually, let me catch up on previous questions before I catch up on that. Or actually, I guess that was a question I already missed. So, Anodyne. The colors that are in the renderings that I do here, let me see if I have. I really should have ordered a color sample of the holster. They're pretty darn accurate, I would say. Like the orange is a really nice kind of bright orange. The finish on these is a matte finish. So this is from Shapeways. These gray ones are prototypes from a Formlabs Fuse 1. This is from Shapeways, and this is what you're going to get. So you get the tiniest amount of layer lines that don't really show up, that actually kind of ends up looking like a really cool, kind of almost a sandstone look of a finish. So they have a semi-gloss finish to a matte finish, depending on the color you're getting. The black tends to be a little bit glossier than the colors. But the colors, at least as far as the rendering, is as accurate as I can get them. I have validated a few of those colors, and I've been really amazed. People order like orange, and it's basically this kind of bright orange. And the reds and blues look really good. The colors will fade in the sun over time if you put them in the sun, or if you decide to run this through your dishwasher, which you could. That'll fade a little bit of the colors. You can order in white though, and then paint it any color, dye it any color you want. So the white will save you a little bit of cost. I found that spray enamel paints, matte enamel paints, specifically Ace Hardware brand, works incredibly well on SLS parts. In fact, do I have it here? So this holster is actually from the Formlabs Fuse 1, and then I painted it. And this is the one that I've been using on my belt for the Free P4 for years and years, and so you can see how it holds up. And I should actually cover this also. For example, there's going to be a little bit of a wear mark where the parts kind of interfere, and you can just see a little tiny bit of white right here. I've cycled the tool in and out 100 times. If you ever end up having the white show up, you can either use this, an acrylic one for all Molotow paint pen is absolutely perfect. You just simply, if I can show this on camera, just simply cover that black back up. It'll dry to a matte finish and you'll never see it again. You can also use a Sharpie marker, but Sharpie markers leave a little bit of a purple hue, so I don't recommend the Sharpie markers. I'll dock you my Free P4. And that paint takes a few seconds to dry. In this case, I'm just going to wipe it off for now, just so I can dock the tool back in. Evan Hollander, what's the difference between the BDU loop and the duty loop? Let me show that here in CAD, or in KeyShot. So, and I'll just actually drag the two belts off in size here. So a BDU loop is basically a normal belt, like your normal leather belt, something that fits on a regular pair of jeans. And the duty loop is intended for people who have, if I move this in the right way, intended for people who have like police duty belts or extra thick belts. So it's a much taller belt and thicker belt. The dimensions are on the website or what belts those fit. And so that's really the only difference looking at the actual parts. So if I switch over to this view, hopefully that shows up big enough. So I show on the left-hand side view, you can see how big the belt opening is. And if I switch over to BDU loop, it's a little smaller for a regular belt. Otherwise, both the BDU and duty loops have the ability to connect to MOLLE or pads webbing, and also have a little kind of keyhole shape for use, like if you want to hang it on a nail or something like that. Kyle Hammond just ordered, thank you. Make some Stepanov. I already answered that. The George just ordered, thank you. MH1505, can I hold the black A2 extension bit holder? So that's, I think, is that the one that comes with the mutt? But I believe it will fit. You just end up having to, you might end up having to have it might end up sticking up a little bit, because I think that's the one that's got the protrusions on top, so be careful about, putting your hand down on the holster. The bottom portion of it should fit. I'm not sure about the retention rings. I'd have to look that up again. Static Target, open black open face, thanks. Thank you. Kyle Hammond, I think there's a discrepancy on the horizontal slim descriptions, FYI. Let me double check that. Those are things I might have done in the middle of the night here. All right, let's see. Let's switch back over here. Horizontal loop. Let's see here. And slim. I'm not sure. Is that on a different version that I'm looking at here? On maybe the open face? Let me know which one you think you're seeing that discrepancy on. I'm not seeing a discrepancy on that. Just ordered. Thanks for the chance on the first order. Thank you, Uncle Davo. Anodyne, I think he replied to that. Lad Gardner, I don't see a version of the Armored that accommodates the clip on the site. So if you go to the Armored, either one, the Armored Full, the third-party clip compatible is the one that can take a metal or Tech-Lock or other clip. The clip is not included. So if you look at the view without the accessories, you can see what the back looks like. And then here's a version of the open face. So this has room for Chicago screws, either M8, M4 or number 8 Chicago screws. And then it has a single hole with a slot so that this fits a variety of basically dual screw pieces. But that's right here on the website, unless you're looking for the open clip, plastic clip, which is under open clip. So hopefully that answers your question. Order discount code did not work with the t-shirts still, because the discount code is only for Printify items. That's what's been in the reply. It's not on. I can't do that on the Shapeways items. They just simply don't have enough profit margin to offer a $5 discount. So again, it's specifically geared towards the Printify items. Please let me know if that's not working for Printify, or if you're trying to apply that to the holster. Adam Thomas, I'll wait for the scalpel holder. Yep, that's fine. Again, these are made on demand. Do not worry about trying to order this today and having to sell out. These are all completely made on demand. In fact, if you don't order it today, I at least have a little more time to process all these orders. They're automatically processed as far as they go straight into production. But I go through Shopify, add notes, send you when the estimated shipping date is. I have to do all that manually right now. I've been trying to automate that before I got this release out, but couldn't get that working. Oh, somebody replied, discount code works now. Let's see here. Yep, I am back behind. I need to catch up on this chat here. Order horizontal face version with no side grips, easy peasy, thank you. Uncle Dabo ordered, discount code did not work. Let's see here. Where's the armor version? Okay, sorry. I'm trying to catch up on chat, and it keeps resetting on me, so I have to keep finding where I was here. Did I get the barnacle bit holder to work with the armored pocket clip version, Adam Thomas? Yes, I did. So I will switch over to KeyShot here and to the ARC and armored pocket slim. And then let's turn on the barnacle bit holder and turn off the pocket clip. So it's going to show up as the same color as the holster, but yes, the barnacle bit holder fits. So an update to anybody who's watching the stream was that I've added another slot to the side of the pocket clip and then a little bit of a bridge over. That will make it so the pocket clip won't hit a surface, and it also did need to be stiffened up as far as this top edge, so it ended up looking like this. That's shown in the latest renderings that are on the product page. So if we go to the armored pocket clip and look at any of those renderings, you can see that there. But yes, it does fit the barnacle bit holder, and that's stated on the website. Can the new scalpel holder replace the can opener on the ARC? No, the scalpel holder well, I guess it might be able to, but you'd have to like file off the thumb tab or something. It's specifically designed to replace either the saw or the file and has an integrated thumb tab. I don't think you'd have enough thickness to hold the scalpel blade. You need that extra space of the spring next to it and the scale for that to fit. I do show that in one of my live streams. I think you might have even been there. At least I recognize your name, but it might have been a different live stream than I saw you in. Does the BDU fit saddleback leathers? Sean's asking that. Give me 1 second. I have a saddleback leather belt. unfortunately, the answer is actually no. But this is the tow belt by Saddleback, and I haven't worn it yet. I feel bad because I bought it like a year ago. And then here's the BDU loop. And no, it won't fit because this belt is really thick. It will fit the duty belt option, which I have here somewhere. Let me see, which one did I print? I got too many prototypes. It will fit just fine on the duty. In fact, it fits kind of snug. So if you got the Saddleback tow belt, then you need the duty loop version instead of the BDU loop version. I felt like making my own custom version that I'd have for myself. But in the end, like I said, I don't end up wearing that tow belt as much as I should. And I use the Saddleback leather wallet too, by the way, which is why I know about them. I love their stuff here. Let's see here. Jonathan Russell, thank you. Order placed. Trenched 127, thank you. D, thank you for the display. However, could physically try it on and show what it looks like. I like to see more vertical versus horizontal. Shows a person well wearing it how much it shows. Yeah, I can do a little bit of live demo here. I'll have to do it on this camera here. Give me 1 second to set up a little bit. I'm going to switch off to just this view while I switch camera lenses. My camera might end up drooping here, but we'll see. I'm using my old Lumix GX8 as a webcam. Very overkill. And let's turn on autofocus. Come on, focus. Looking at this switch blind, I might have this backwards. Come on, focus. Oh, that's right, my lens has a focus ring. There we go, that'll do it. So, I did make sure that I brought a belt with me. You'll have to excuse my little bit pudginess here of I'm an engineer in his 40s. I'm going to have a gut. So if we got the regular BDU loop, for example, on this side, and then let's go ahead and move it to a little bit to the back. And then where's my horizontal carry prototype? This one is a little bit older prototype. Let's see here. Here's a newer one. And I'll have to move the camera down here. Oops, I put that too far back on my belt. Sorry. Doing that while looking at the camera, basically. Trying to make sure I'm a little bit in view here. So this is how low basically the holster fits. That's much lower than the standard Leatherman holster, which pokes up that far, because that's where the loop is on it. And then I'll dock my free P4 on there, and focus camera. Oh, come on. Let's switch to manual focus, just I'll just do it. So the horizontal is basically no bigger than your belt. You can still, get in your pants basically, or have it further back. To undock it, you can basically pop it off like this, and then redock it like that. And then the BDU loop, again, is real easy to just simply pop it out, pop it back in. Now I'll have to just zoom out my camera and adjust it a little bit here. Sorry, folks. Actually, I'm going to switch off lenses one more time. Just to have the better framing here. Focus, come on. There we go. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Jonathan T. Does the horizontal have any extra bits? The horizontal carry only has room for 4 bits. So what I was just wearing was the slim version. So we jump over to the horizontal loop here. With side bit holders, you have room for 4 bits on the side, which would be either 2 bits plus the 711L holder into the Voltibit, or 4 bits on the side, because otherwise your belt takes up all the rest of that space. So 4 bits if you pick with side grips, no bits if you pick the slim version. And I'll leave the zoom up here while I catch up. Evan Hollander, place an order. Thanks for your hard work. Thank you all, Evan. Make some step knob. I see now. Purchase mine. Thanks, Josh. All right, I'm way behind on chat because that's actually where I posted the link. Sorry, guys. Just order the white. Thank you. Think I'm going with orange. Thank you. I do really. I like the orange. Orange is my favorite color. Wishing I could get an orange car. They're very, very hard to find. Got one in white, might try some custom colors. Yeah, and again, enamel paints work well. You can also use RIT dyes. Any dye that's compatible with nylon can be used. You basically have to boil it. I found that the enamel paints, though, you apply them in maybe 4 very light coats, where you're just kind of soaking it in without getting it wet enough to, say, beat up, and it works really well, and it holds up very well that way. I have used other plastic compatible paints like Krylon and things, so they tend to get sticky over time. So again, the matte enamel paint from Ace Hardware works well, but I think you can't get that in California or something. That might be the lacquer paints. I get those confused. Rust-Oleum camo works well. I use it on the prototypes to share at SHOT Show. Cool. Does the horizontal have extra bits? Okay, I already answered that. Thanks for everybody who's placed an order. Can you see how many orders have been placed? Jonathan, let's see here. Just from today so far. Quite a few. Holy cow. I will have to catch up. Now, anybody who's adding notes, looks like most of these are thank you. Other notes I will have to, because the order process is automated, you can't put in a note saying, hey, please give me this or that. I'll have to check on some of these notes. Looks like most of them are thank yous. And so, yeah, I think already 100 orders today. Is that right? No. $99 orders today. Wow. I'm very appreciative of that, folks. So I had 708 people sign up ahead of time. That's definitely the most I've ever had. I think that's a good thing where the ARC itself is a really good tool that I think people are liking. And so I'm very excited to have that many people signed up. That's also one reason so much work's put in the prototypes. I want to make sure what you get works for you. Do be aware that when you do first get your holster, and I'll show this, I'm gonna whip my belt off to get the other piece. When you first get the holster, the bit holders and the ratchet driver may end up feeling tight at first, and so the holster itself will dock very well, because it's using the spring tabs and not any sort of friction to hold in the tool. The ratchet driver is using a small detent up here, which is a little spot that's kind of worn away in white up there. And then it's basically using a little bit of a ramp inside. So when you first get it, that detent may be very tight, and you simply push the holster through and cycle it a few times. Or in my case, I've literally cycled it 100 times, and then it will now snap in very nicely, and you can just pull it out very easy. So if it feels like you can't get that out and you have to tug on it a bunch, you can use your pliers to simply get in and pull if you have it completely stuck, or you can push in from the bottom using something like a flat bit or the end of your bit holder. And then on this side, you might end up experiencing the same thing with the 711L holder. In fact, mine is still a little tight. I can get it undocked. That's intentional because I really don't want you to lose your 711L holder or 711L ratchet. The other thing that you can do is pop out your tool, click in there, and then you'll have a lot more leverage to pull it out. But that way you can at least be sure that he's nice and snug locked in. These two bits are a little bit tighter intentionally, so what I'll do is pop them out using the end of my bit driver. They'll wear out again a little bit in time. Same thing with the Vultee bit. Just ordered, thank you, Clay. Let's see, just curious. Will the screws from the pocket clip hold the barnacle bit holder? Evan, yes, that's exactly how it's designed to do it. I'll show that again live here. So you use a Torx T6 bit. Pop out these two screws. And let's see here. Got my barnacle bit. Now the barnacle bit holds a little bit looser, so you can kind of use your finger to get that out. And it has two sets of holes. Because these are countersunk screws and because it's plastic, you could end up over torquing this and driving it too far in. So it's intentionally designed to give you a spare set of holes. So we can take the barnacle bit holder and I'll tighten these a little bit. And so that's on the tool. You can slide in your bit. And then again, this will be compatible with the pocket clip version of the holster. And that actually kind of comes out real nice. The barnacle bit holder itself is a little bit proud of the bit, so you don't have to worry about it ever scraping things, and it's specifically designed to be, if I can show on camera, to be longer than the bit and curve over so that you're never going to catch this on any piece of cloth or anything. And I'll dock that here. Uncle Dabo, I took the pocket clip off. I'll need to put it back on for the full armored version. The full armored version is not compatible with the pocket clip. So there's the armored full, and that's compatible with the lanyard, which I show to the very left. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm not showing on camera here. But I show it. You can kind of see the lanyard loop here, and if I can zoom this even more, give me 1 second. Oh, it doesn't want to give it to me. In either case, the full version is not compatible with the pocket clip, just compatible with the lanyard, and also not compatible with the barnacle bit holder, and that's expressed on the website that way. And that's intentional for the people who want to have absolutely nothing metal on the front, because somebody pointed out in the live stream that we're not just protecting the holster, we're protecting the tool from hitting the wall, basically, or whatever you're going to rub up against. So it kind of becomes a sacrificial surface that protects both whatever you rub against and the actual tool itself. So it can't have any metal exposed that way. Can the ARC fit in any of the holsters with the thumb tab installed? You're talking about my thumb tabs or the thumb tab that comes with the tool? It's obviously designed to fit the thumb tab with the tool. And then if I dock, let's see here. Actually, I have thumb tabs, so let's just answer that live. So here's the thumb tabs. If I put those into the file, and I don't have this, I'll have the screws in one of these, so this guy might not want to go in because he's a little tight. Come on. If only I had a pair of pliers. There we go. Just fine. That should have worked. I'm not sure that I double checked it deliberately, but it's basically the back portion of this with these cutouts here is specifically designed to clear the screws and also to clear the thumb tabs. So yes, you can have these thumb tabs attached. You can also have a little bit larger thumb screw if you ever change that out. Say take the one off the garage number 5, and you can see it'll fit here. Discount works now. Okay, thank you, Maxim, for confirming that. You should embed your name or logo on these. So I did used to do that. I used to have ZapWizard Design embedded kind of behind the pocket clip. However, the way Shapeways works is they will sometimes end up rejecting a print because of having too fine a geometry. Basically having super tiny, like less than 1 millimeter pieces that get caused by that kind of lettering and things. I thought about making a simpler logo, but some of the different variants here, for example, you know, third-party clip or the extra clips basically have no room for it. But the reality is these are unique designs. I think everybody knows where they got them from. If hopefully you can remember my name, ZapWizard, when you show this off to your friends. I am gratitude, or in gratitude I'm using, there's no discount. So again, that discount is only for the merchandise, either the t-shirt or the desk mat. I don't have enough profit margin on the holsters to offer that type of discount for the holsters, but as a thank you, it's at least available on the merchandise. And that basically covers at least half your shipping, maybe all of your shipping, depending on which item you pick. And then again, the desk mats, I don't have my physical version, physical prototype here, but I expect it to look really good. And then I have the t-shirt on right now. And the t-shirt's awesome. This is also a very high quality t-shirt. I hate thin t-shirts, and so I picked the best one that Printify had. And I'm real happy with it, and I'm kind of snubby on my t-shirts as far as the quality of those. Zach, Lynn, you're being too fine with the profit margin. Yeah, and I might end up having to increase the prices. I'm going to see what it's going to be like basically for the rest of this year, and I'll have to determine how much, you know, I'm paying in taxes at the end of the year. This is a hobby project for me to a certain degree. Again, I'm putting my own professionalism into it. But I don't think anybody wants to pay $80 for an armored holster. There are some of the configs can already get up to $70. Let's see, what was I have this all perfectly calculated out via spreadsheet. So the most expensive variant is $72, but now you can also get variants that are more accessible, such as the white colors come down to about $44 depending on what variant you pick. So with just a fixed price margin, profit margin in price instead of a percentage. I may have to bump that up to a fixed, 12 or 15% industry standard later. So get them while you can. I won't be doing that this year though. I'll probably leave it alone for this year. Does scalpel holder work with all the variants like the P4 holster before? Yes, the scalpel holder, I'll switch off cameras. The scalpel holder thumb tab is specifically designed to be no taller than the screw next to it. I show that in CAD when I do the design, so that should dock in here just fine. And that's the free P4 with it, but once I have the thinner version, that'll work on the ARC. If we place an merch order before the discount code is fixed, we still get the discount somehow. Yeah, Austin Lux, why don't we just do this? I will look for your order if you're using that name. If not, send me an email. So yeah, I don't know what your order number is, but send me a contact me or reply to your order confirmation, and I'll get you a return on that. Make sure you mention the discount code though, because I want it to be just for anybody showing up at this live stream or anybody who signed up early. That code will be good until 7 p.m. tomorrow. All right, second here. This holds the bit extender and the 711L ratchet, right? Yes. If you pick any of the variants that include side grips. So those are rendered in here as far as it'll hold either the bit extender or the ratchet driver. Either one goes on the right-hand side. I'm sorry, I'm not showing the camera. On the right-hand side here. And then on the left-hand side is a 711L holder. So anytime any of the options you pick with side grips will fit those. And you can, again, look at the rendering and see. And again, it's not just the ratchet driver. It fits the bit extender exactly the same. Do I know the diameter of the slot for the screws for the third-party clip? Let me get that to you live in CAD here. And this is everything on top of each other, so give me 1 second. And that's going to take a second to open. I should have opened it for editing before. Let me catch up on some other pieces. I'm not fast enough with all this chat. I took my clip off. I'll need to put it back on the full Armor versions. Order the BDU version. Armor takes the pocket clip and side clip. Can I fit the ARC into any of the holsters with thumb tab installed? Already answered that. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps resetting the chat on me, and I have a very hard time finding where I was. So let's switch to just the third-party version, along with any of the bases. And so you can fit a screw, and I think it's an 11.5 millimeter, so I have basically enough room for 10 millimeter. Yep, or 11.25. So as long as it's below 11.25, the Chicago screw will fit in there. All right. Loving the extra bridge, keeps the symmetry with added protection. Thank you. Where can I get the third-party clip compatible? So Matthew, that is on the website right here. You pick your belt option as the first thing on all the product pages. All the products, you pick which one you want as far as armored full. So if you go to the ARC page, you have the open face, armored full, or armored pocket clip compatible. So if we pick open face here, you pick third-party compatible. You can look at the rendering here. I show this clip. This clip does not come with it though. The details on what clip is compatible is down here. The clip.com model 660p, and I have a link to a similar model because they don't sell them on Amazon anymore. So it's a fairly low-cost clip, 658. Almost any clip that has single inline or two inline holes will work just fine. So there's many options for those. You can also do plastic clips, Kydex clips, things like that. That'll all be compatible as long as you're using a number 8 or an M4 type screw for that. Oh, and you found it. Sorry, I'm doing one thing at a time here. The BDU loop or the duty loop for the groove belt. I think we confirmed that the groove belt was not any more than 5 millimeters as far as the end piece, and I have 5.2 millimeters on the BDU loop. If you got a groove belt, and you know, hopefully you have some calipers or any sort of ruler, and you can measure that. And so the dimensions of what the belt openings show is so if you pick BDU loop here and you scroll down, it's 48 by 5 millimeter or 1.9 by 0.2 inches. That's what size belt or the opening that it'll fit through. There's a little bit of tolerance on top of that, so you could try to squeeze it through if you needed to. But again, I don't have a groove belt. Maybe I should get one to make sure I can make a version that's compatible. Why no bit holders on the horizontal slim version similar to the Garage? Well, first of all, none of the slim versions have side bit holders, so that's the entire definition of the slim version, so that you can have a sleeker version of the holster without anything on the side. And this makes a very, if you're just holding just the tool, and you can have it with or without the pocket clip attached, and then bit holders on the back. But the horizontal loop slim has no extra bit holders because there's simply no place to put them except for the side options. So you turn on the side grips, you'll have 4 bit holders on one side and then the ratchet driver on the other. Now this holster already comes in 300 variants. Like I said, I spent the past few days rendering over 600 images in order to get every single variant covered in every single color. So the more variants I have to add, as far as if I had a version without the ratchet driver or bits on one side or something, it just gets way too many to even deal with. So it's gonna have to be that way. Now, if you wanted to not use the ratchet driver and have something slimmer, you could always file that off and then paint the surface. This material is solid. It can be cut, it can be filed, it can be drilled, almost like wood. You'll end up exposing the white plastic inside. And if you're in late, my solution, if you ever expose the white, this is your touch-up pen, a Molotow, basically matte black. So the exact color on this guy, or it's a 180 signal black. This is the best pen for touching up the black on your holster if you do need to do that. Real question is, what is your number one Leatherman? I had the Arc, and the Wave is still my number one. Nope, the Arc is my number one. I've expressed that on Reddit. Over a long time ago, as in a year ago, before the Arc leak ever happened, I released an image of what I called the Free Z1. So here's the Free Z1. See if this looks familiar. With the diamond file, a bit changer, a sharp awl, a longer pry bar. I did not have the eyeglass screwdriver, and I even had an adjustable pivot, which ended up in the Garage number 5. Now, I published this over a year ago, so I predicted the Arc in the Garage as far as I'm concerned. And Leatherman said that their AMA said that they've been working on the Arc since the very beginning of the Free series. Thanks for checking Saddleback Leather. All right, thank you. Can you use the Tek-Lok with horizontal carry? Yeah. Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, you can use it. You can use the Tek-Lok on the third-party compatible, and then mount it horizontally. But more than like a dozen people wanted more bits on the back of the third-party clip compatible, which only used to come with I think 4 or 5 options, and so I managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That made it so that the Tek-Lok, if you mount it sideways, is going to be kind of hanging off of the Tek-Lok a little bit instead of being able to be center mounted. Now, if you wanted it center mounted, you could use some spacers or something like that, which the Tek-Lok comes with, to kind of space the Tek-Lok off, and then you can center mount it. But that's the kind of trade-off that happened to get more bits on the third-party compatible. But otherwise, yes, you can rotate it because of the way the Tek-Lok has extra holes. You can also do 45 degrees carry with a Tek-Lok product. It'd be cool the horizontal version interface with your belt holes so that it didn't slide back and forth. Yeah, I thought about that, John Hines, and the friction on this is pretty good, but yeah, that is a potential issue. If you do experience that, you could go ahead and actually drill a hole in the third part into the horizontal carry. You could say drill a hole right through here. So there's an opening here, and then that you could put in, like, say, through your belt. You can put a little screw or something like that to grab your belt. So there's options for that if you need to do that. All right, Juan, fantastic job. Thank you. All right, I need to catch up on more chat here. Do you know of a good horizontal clips to use with a third-party clip holster? Seems like it'd be good pretty off-centraled doing horizontal. I'm not sure about what horizontal clips might work. You could Yeah, I don't have a good answer for that. I haven't looked up any horizontal clips exactly. So sorry about that. Order the tritium thumb tabs off AliExpress, should be here soon. All right. Yeah, I don't know about the AliExpress thumb tabs. I think they're a little taller than what I have. Is it me or is your volume a little low? Somebody tell me if my volume is a little low because I can turn myself up here if we need. I'll hit the bottom here so I can see if somebody tells me if my volume's low. Sometimes I have issues mumbling, but I've been trying to speak up, make sure I'm speaking up here. But I can switch up my microphone a little bit. You'll end up maybe hearing more of my computer if I turn myself up. All right, let's see here. Does the slot next to 7-level fit both the VultiBit and the newer VultiSwitch? Yes, it specifically fits the VultiSwitch or the VultiBit, either one. So I have the switch in here in mine right now. So again, kind of use a tool to pop this guy out. So there's the VultiSwitch. There's specifically a recess right here. It kind of doesn't show up on camera, especially because this thing's really black. The black holsters, I mean, are very dark black. They are on par with the black finish. In fact, if you look here, they're actually a darker color than the black finish because they're a matte finish. But yes, if it's the VultiBit or the VultiSwitch or a regular bit, can go into that same slot. All right, catching up on chat here. Again, thanks for everybody who's been ordering. I'm curious how many orders you have by the end of the chat. Yeah, I'll take a look at the very end of the chat, see how many. And I'm up to 110. That's orders today, though. There was about a dozen orders of other things, thumb tabs and stuff, earlier today. So that's not just this release. The side holster is so sick. Thank you. Most of the prototyping actually went into the development of the new ratchet holder, getting it so it could hold either the ratchet or the bit extender, because the Garage Number 5 version was either or. You had to pick ahead of time. That 711L holder is very tricky to get it to snap in so that you don't feel like it's ever going to pull out if you bump into something, but still being able to actually pull it out when you need to. Again, both of those will be a little tight when you first get your holster. And then tweaking the actual bits on the back. So this is my prototype, and so you can see here I can push this guy out by hand, but some of these others, they're really too tight to push out by hand. So how do you undock your bits if they are too tight? Grab another tool, such as the bit extender, and then just push, and then you can finish pulling it the rest of the way out. There's a little detent inside, because that shows up as a little tiny white dot in there, and a detent on the top that grab the little cutouts that are in the bits. And you can see that I pushed that one back in just fine. And the longer you use these, the more they'll wear in. So you can see here that I'm now pushing that one at least in by finger. I can kind of push it out by finger. So they'll wear in a little bit on you. Same thing with the ratchet driver. I've cycled the tool, I've cycled the ratchet driver, and I've cycled the tool and the ratchet driver 100 times, well over 100 times now, because you just kind of sit there and it's a cool little fiddly piece. The 711L holder I've cycled about 50 times in this holster alone, just to make sure that everything works for you. And there's a few tiny tweaks I've done that'll be in the final versions you guys receive, which is making these about 0.1 millimeter looser, and then making the grip on here a little bit so that the ratchet driver won't be completely tight right off the bat for you guys, but it still should not loosen up on you over time. Knife Trainers Amazon sell that marker. I'm pretty sure I've got my Molotow one for all off of Amazon. I could even maybe find you the affiliate link, but right now I need to catch up on more chat. Do you know if any of the Legendary reached out to you about your holster engineering efforts. Chris Ryan, I know they're aware of it. Because I sell mods, I'm pretty sure they avoid me. I even tried to get to be a distributor, like so I could sell Leatherman tools on my own website, and was rejected by their system, whatever their third-party kind of authorized system was. But otherwise, I know that some of their engineers have my mods, according to the AMA and some other data. Is there an option without the loop, like for pocket use only? So, Jaquin, is it Jaquin? Yes, that's the no extra or none extra bits option. So you get, and I'll show the prototype version here. Where is it? So 16-bit slots on the back. And then you can have the side grips or no side grips. Now I don't have a version which is absolutely naked, because then you're just basically just adding a little plastic to your holster or to your tool, and I don't think you need that. So this would be the closest option, the slim version with bit holders on the back. So you got 16 bit holders on the back. You can still have your pocket clip. So this is a good version for pocket carry or tool case version. The tool case version, you know, this guy's kind of a whole master toolkit. You got a wrench, ratcheting wrench. You got a ratcheting driver. You have a multimeter with voltage detection, temperature detection, and then up to 20 bits. I mean, that's all on one little tiny toolkit that you can just throw into your case. Our guys at work, for example, go out and install antennas and things, and this is something that I'm trying to get for everybody in their travel toolkit, because having every single kind of bit that you can imagine. I mean, the 20 bits that Leatherman includes in their bit kit is really comprehensive. I mean, from T6 all the way up to, what's the largest Torx? T27 or even larger? T30. It's a really good bit kit. I've used this to fix cars. I've used this to replace alternators on a golf cart. I've used all these, like I said, those ones are brand new, but you can see all my bits are heavily used. So I've used pretty much every one of them except for the carbide glass breaker. Hopefully I don't ever need to use that one. All right, I'm gonna catch up on chat a little bit. You keep getting me to spend money. I want the Volti as well as your holster. Now again, the Volti bits, I've described it as a product you don't need, but sure as heck is fun. I still trying to memorize their little card of how to use it, because you're just looking at a couple of flashing lights. I hope you can maybe find some absolutely tiny micro display or something. But again, if you don't have to put the Volti bit there. You can put a regular bit in that same slot just fine. Where do you get the multi-bit? So that's PCDoodle.com. PC Doodle bit. I misspelled doodle here. So PCPoodle.com. I think from his regular webpage, though, you can't find it. Oh, no, I guess he's updated his website. So there's either the Volti Bit, which is just a multimeter and it has a little bit of limitations. The Volti Switch has a lot more functionality, but is a little bit bulkier. But again, it'll fit in the holster just fine. And he's selling these for $42 right now. The potential to go up to $50. I mean, it is literally the world's smallest multimeter. Even the AC detection alone is worth it. I mean, how big is a little AC detector you're going to have in your tool case? So I absolutely love it. I'm sorry, because I'm sure you've gotten this question before. What are the two side tools? I found the ratchet driver, but what is the other scraper tool? Might have been talking about the Volti Bit here. But the other tool on the side here is the 711L. The 711L is this guy here. and you get it. I think it's exclusively available on Amazon. Actually, 7-Eleven is the company, but this is their kind of primary product. And I need to put an affiliate link in the product page for that, so I can get my little kickback off of that. I've already lost one, but see, so I've purchased 2 times. But otherwise, I think it's an incredible little tool. Actually, I can go ahead and get you guys my affiliate link for that right now. Dump that into chat. I'm gonna catch up a little bit. Make some uses of my mods, thank you. GL belt is 6 millimeters, so maybe there's some flex the holster will fit. You might have a hard time. The holster is flexible as far as in the middle. So you can see here I'm pushing on this, but these end pieces are very much deliberately not flexible. So if it can get through, maybe if it's a thinner belt, if it's only 1 inch in size or 1 maybe and a quarter, you might be able to shove it through, but I really wouldn't do that repeatedly. The other option is to get like the open clip, but that open clip version is, like I said, I consider it for light duty use only. I haven't even printed a prototype of it, but I still have it available for anybody who wants it. And yeah, the duty loop is the bigger size. That'll work for you for that if you want to. Cannot wait until payday this Wednesday. Yep, like again, these are built on demand. They'll take most of the shipments that are going out today. Let me double check a previous order today. I think September 27th, or sorry, not September, November 27th is 27th or 28th. So end of November is when today's orders will probably be shipping out, and I will be catching up on these emails. It'll take me a while to send everybody the notifications of ship date, because the system will send you an automated email once it ships, but it doesn't tell you what the estimated ship date is. I have to do that manually. In either case, end of the month is when they'll ship. All of the shipments from Shapeways use UPS Mail Innovations to ship. I'm very sorry about that, because it means that it gets to your post office really quick, and then it's after that, it's up to your post office. It might come in 3 days. It might come in 10 days. I've had stuff, I live a quarter mile from my post office, and I've had stuff literally sit there for 10 days. And that's just the way the post office can be. I can't really do rush shipping due to the way the automated system works, but rush shipping is like $36 anyway, so I don't think anybody would really pick it. But you can get it in time for Christmas. I think my cutoff date is near the end of the month if you want to get it a metal part before Christmas. So that's just something to keep aware of. All right, group to belt 6.1. All right, let's see here. PCB will also sell on the newer Volti-Switch 3 for $108. So that'd be really good for people who want a kit. The bit kit isn't complete for aircraft mechanics that work on Airbus, because Airbus uses a type driver called Torque, not Torx. It is Airbus proprietary. Well, maybe somebody needs to make some flat bits that work for that, or you can always use the bit extender and or the ratchet driver. I like the Scout Carry design a lot. I always carry my belt on the small of my back. It's a great way to have a full setup back there. So I'm actually not familiar with what Scout Carry is, if that's just horizontal carry or what. But one thing to keep in mind is that all my holsters sit very low on your belt. They hang right off. So if I grab my belts here, they hang right off the edge of your belt. They do not protrude up past your belt. Let's compare that to the holster that came with your Leatherman Arc. If I can even get the belt in here. That's a huge difference. So even if you crushed the top of this, which you'd have to do by moving the actual rivet, it still sits an inch lower on your belt than the default holster. All right, time for new belt then. What do you mean by light duty? Is it not as sturdy? So Dwayne, I'll show this here in CAD. So this is the plastic clip is only attached at one side. So you could end up, and I'll just kind of simulate this by rotating this in CAD. If this ever caught on something, I have no guarantee that it's not going to snap. Oh, it's not going to rotate right now. I'm in the wrong mode. I just don't consider it as strong. Now I have beefed it up. I've added ribbing to the back. The top edge of this is very thick, almost 5 millimeters in thick, with kind of reinforced ribbing and things to make that as strong as possible. But it's the only version I've ever had a customer report as failed, as far as it broke on them because they snagged on something. So I just put the warning light duty use. Again, I don't have enough profit margin on these, and there's no real return policy because of the way they're custom built to order. And Shapeways has no return policy other than reprinting a defect within 10 days. So I can't really offer any particular warranty on these. And it costs me money when I do have to replace a customer's order. All right. Thanks to everybody who's been placing orders and putting replies about that. I appreciate it. Would it be okay to cut the iMorse clip to make it more open clip style as the Integrity? I ordered one with the arc holster. So let's show that live here. Let's get this guy out of the way. So customer's asking about this, which is my iMorse holster for the Olight iMorse, and I'll show the factory one. I have mine modified with a flat bottom. You can just take it to a grinder. The thing's made of solid copper. It's not copper plated. If you manage to get the copper version. I don't know if they even sell it anymore. I love it though. Yes, if you wanted to make this a little bit more open clip, the material is solid. You could take this with a hacksaw or something like that and cut that slot open. Again, it'll end up a little bit weaker, but this is a lighter part, less likely to snag. The other option could be that you actually cut a slot further in and then just rely on the flex to get your belt in and then hook it. So yeah, you can modify that to be open clip. I designed this to be completely symmetrical. It doesn't matter which way you put it on your belt, and that's why it's just a full loop. Now it's not as big of a loop as the BDU loop here. It works for the most part though. I think it's the size is printed or is on the website. It might actually be the same size in the end, other than that little slot at the bottom. All right, here. What state are these shipping from? Maxim, they are, if you're getting your order, it's either going to come from New York or Michigan. Those are the two places Shapeways has processing facilities. The Michigan facilities actually kind of has sped up their processing. It used to be 2 weeks. Now it's about 7 to 10 days. If you order internationally, they're probably going to come from the Netherlands, especially in the UK and anywhere in Europe. Otherwise, if you're doing an international shipment to Australia or something like that, I'm not sure exactly where they come from in that case. But whichever ends up being the most economical, I assume, for Shapeways there. All right. Always carry around the Torx bits. They purposely chose a rare type, so it's not easy for anyone to sabotage plans. Okay. Will Way is asking BDU versus duty loop, the difference. That's printed on the website. It is just a difference in the size of the cutout. I can show it back to back here. Let me find my version. So this is a BDU loop version. And where is a duty loop? Those are both BDUs. Sorry, I've had to dig through my prototypes. Here we go. So here you can see BDU on this side, duty on this side. And the duty loop is longer and wider, specifically for police type duty belts. And then the BDU is for military BDU belts. Or just any regular leather belt fits the BDU for the most part, except for we just talked about the saddleback leather toe belt needs the larger size because of its thickness. But that's the only difference between the two, other than you will also lose, I think, 2 bit slots with the duty loop taking up more space on the back side there. I just ordered the armored pocket clip version, so stoked. Thank you. I did end up finding a copper eye Morse. Love the copper and brass. Yeah, you see the one that I actually wear daily is shinier than the one that sits on my desk here at work. Or actually, no, whoop, that was backwards. The one on my desk is shinier than the one I carry every day. I ordered these about the same time. And I have a review of this flashlight on my website along with the affiliate link for Olight. And I love this light. I charge it like once a month, and it's insanely bright for a tiny light. And on low, it runs for like 20 hours or something, 11 hours. I can't remember the exact value. But it also basically never turned off. It just gets dimmer. It doesn't turn off like a kind of AA light does. I didn't see the option to choose ratchet driver versus extender grip like the other holster. So Watson, the ratchet driver or the extender holder are both compatible. I'll show that here. Let me get out of this solo mode here. So if I turn on the side accessories, and there's the ratchet driver. Let me turn on the actual grip. And then I'll have to unhide this now and turn off the ratchet driver. Or I could have shown you actual, let me show you the actual physical prototype. But basically the design works with either one now. So here's the bit extender. You can see it doesn't hang off the piece very far. And then my ratchet driver, it's over here still on that belt. Let me get that off the belt. So here's the actual Shapeways part. So the ratchet driver is literally as close to the holster as it can get. I'll click that off here. It's easier to do it from the top. You basically are pulling against the palm of your hand. So it'll rub a little bit and make that part shiny, but it won't get rid of the black. And then it'll fit the bit extender just the same. So yeah, unlike the previous one, you didn't have to pick and choose. That was kind of part of the development for this. I'm 50-50 on the BDU and third party. Does anyone have a good argument over one or the other? Stormy Day? I should have read that better. The third party is my recommendation if you definitely don't want to ever take your belt off. I don't mind. I can take my belt off quick enough that, or the reality is I wear mine basically all day when I'm at work, so I never really take it off until I get home. But the third-party clip works really well if you want to have it where you want to unclip it and you don't want to use the open clip light-duty version. But otherwise, my default option that I buy for myself is the BDU loop. And it's very secure. It also means that when you're lifting out the tool or any of the implements, you're never accidentally removing the holster from the belt, because almost all the implements pull upwards. But again, it's completely up to you. That's one reason there's literally almost 300 variants and colors to choose from, is so you can have those options. Yeah, Maxim, you're in Kansas City. I'm not sure if it's going to ship from Michigan or New York. They basically batch everything. That's one reason I can't cancel orders, by the way, is everything goes into a batch and printed with other components, dyed on certain days, and then shipped to you directly. And it just depends on which facility has capacity. All right. Third-party clip might not sit flush to the body. Yeah, the third-party clip might hang out depending on what you pick. One of the issues with third-party clips too sometimes is these screws can tear up your belt. You could use rivets too. They should work just the same as the Chicago screws. Is it possible to modify an order that has been placed tonight? No, I'm sorry. I'm not able to. I did not manually set it. Sorry, I'm stuttering here. I didn't set up manual processing because of the amount of orders that are coming in today. Sometimes I'll turn on manual processing, but that means I have to literally go in and put in every single order with your name, address, and there's too many options to it takes too much time, and there's too many possibilities to transpose an error. So no, all the processing is automated. The best I can offer you is if something got completely screwed up, I can try to redirect that shipment to me, and you can replace an order. But that ends up meaning I have to figure out a way to sell those parts. And so far, maybe one day I'll do a fire sale of all the spare parts and returns that I have collected for a discount. We'll see. But currently, I'm not doing that. All right, thanks to everybody's been placing orders. What's being helped besides the ratchet? What's being held, maybe? Is that what you mean? Next to the 711L, that's the VultiBit, or Vulti Switch, which is from PC Poodle. His online name is PC Doodle, as far as if you want to look him up on Reddit. You can also put a regular bit there. This is the world's smallest multimeter AC detector, continuity tester. It's a really fun, cool little product. And it's also made by one person. He has a video kind of security company, I think. All right. Hey, 100 questions. Where to get a ratchet driver now? Yeah, so that's one reason I very importantly wanted to make sure the bit extender worked, because you can still get those. Currently, I think the only way to get a ratchet driver is to order their bit holder kit. Or bit driver kit. This is only available on Leatherman.com, and it's, what, $120? And it comes with a bit kit, a case, and then the ratchet driver and the extender. This is, as far as I know... Oh, it's not even available. It was available last week, I believe. So, yeah. Put in your email and wait, I guess. I think that's how I got mine, and I ordered 2 a long time ago. All right. Anyone had luck sourcing ratchet? I just talked about that. What are the cutouts on the back of the belt loop for, like the holes and the 2 slits? So let me show a little bit of a zoom of what that's going to do. Oh, now you're going to rotate. Let me escape out of this in CAD and turn on the BDU option, and we'll jump into that in full solid. So this is a cutout specifically designed to fit onto pads webbing or MOLLE webbing. And then the teardrop shape cutout is so that you can take the holster and hang it, say, like on a nail or a screw, or I have couple of my holsters, like I have my Surge in my garage hanging on my pegboard. And then I have a backpack here I use as kind of prototype. So if you got a backpack, and we switch off. So if you got a backpack with this kind of webbing on it, you can take the holster here. See if I can do this while holding this up in midair. I'm not going to be able to hold it midair. But you can hook one side on. It's a little bit tricky to hook. I kind of copied a design from another pads thing that I found. And it depends on how elastic your pieces are. And then I can hook the other side. This one doesn't have quite enough width. But I have gotten it on there before. Unfortunately, it's not something you quick release or anything. It's something you kind of put on your tool or on your backpack and leave. There we go. But now that's hanging on the bag. I can take it off like that. And so that's the intention behind that. And some of the more proper pads, webbing and stuff, you can actually get it through without these stitches and kind of zip tie it, or not zip tie it, Velcro, kind of down as you need. But that's the intention behind that design feature there. Let me take this off so I can demonstrate if I need to. Of course, now I got it properly hooked on. Come on. There we go. And that same, by the way, is on either the BDU loop or the duty loop, has that same feature. I'm guessing the barnacle bit holster you designed won't fit on anything other than the open face. Alex, so no, it does fit on the pocket clip compatible. And I showed that a little bit earlier. I guess I should actually maybe add a rendering, but yes, it'll fit where the pocket clip does. I can actually show that live here. So here's the prototype of the armored version. It doesn't have necessarily the extra thing. This is one reason why I added the little extra bridge that you see, because this was a little too flexy, so it did need that stiffening. It's not as flexy in one direction as it is pushing, but it does fit the barnacle bit holder or the pocket clip, either one. All right, thanks. Some people answering other people's questions here. Daryl McKinley, I found them on your website. Link posted earlier didn't work for me. Is there a code? Enter at checkout, or are the prices already discounted? The discount code that I sent out is only good for the merchandise, which is what is specifically in the email. So it's only good on the 2 Printify items, either the T-shirt or the mouse pad, and then or the desk pad in either size. And that's because I can kind of have enough profit margin on those to offer that. Now the holsters only have a $6 profit margin, which is anywhere from 8 to 12% depending on the configuration. I may have to raise that in the future, so the price here varies depending on color and configuration. Just know that these are about as low price as they can possibly be, and allow me to make at least a little bit back on each one. So they kind of are already discounted, I guess would be the other answer to that. If you try to order, it tells you a ratchet's unavailable. Yep. Billy God, what's beside that ratchet in the photo? That's the Volti switch from PCPoodle.com. And I'll go ahead and leave this link in chat here. All right. What's the yellow piece on the current image that's projected? Yeah, that's the Volti switch. All right, thanks for the answer. Ordering now. All right, I think I finally caught up in chat. Put the site link in the details of this video. So you talk about the sales link for the product. It's in here earlier, but here's the link to the different all the ARC compatible products. There'll be be aware that there's going to be some other products coming soon if you want to hold off on your order. Specifically, I have, and I'll switch off to my other camera here and dig out my 3P4. If you happen to be interested in a comb, this is one of my sillier products. I'm making a thinner version that allows you to replace the saw or the file. I already have a version that can replace the scissors or the main blade. And then the other product that's coming soon is a scalpel holder. Now I only recommend this if you really need a bladeless carry or you really need the scalpels. Of course the scalpels can be razor sharp, but they dull very quickly. But a thinner version of that's on the way. Otherwise, this version that exists right now can replace the scissors or the main blade on the ARC. But I'm waiting on my prototypes for those. Again, I like to physically validate everything as much as possible with each product so that you guys aren't buying something that I haven't tried out. And that really sets me apart from a lot of the other people who sell stuff on Shapeways that only have a rendering that you don't even know if they made it themselves. And on Etsy, a lot of the 3D prints are that way. The other thing that sets these apart is that the material here, and I'll actually do this on my full Shapeways part, this material is solid. I'm squeezing this as hard as I can, and you can see it's not moving. Now even with the armored bolster, this plastic is solid. On a live demo, I actually went and cut this and modified this in order to make a quick and dirty prototype of this guy. This is not your at-home 3D printing. These are nylon 12, solid plastic in the end. They have a little bit of a textured finish. Sometimes the whites and things will come a little bit rougher. They'll smooth out in time. But Shapeways got much better about that. They kind of used to feel like sandstone. Now they're really quite smooth. They all go through a polishing process or a tumbling process before they ever get shipped out to you. I need that comb. Yeah, by the way, so let's see, let's do this. Just make sure that when you're combing your hair, you pull out the right implement, right? Oh, really, camera? You're gonna change focus on me? Right when I do that. So, I mean, it's manual focus, and then you can not change on me. There we go. It looks really funny, right? Combing your hair with a multi-tool. But yeah, make sure you got the right implement out so you don't scalp yourself. Yeah, beard comb. It can work as a beard comb pretty well. You gotta have a lot longer beard than I can grow. And again, it can replace the file or saw on the thinner version that I have on the way. That's what this guy is right now. It may not release immediately because I, again, got to prototype it, make sure that it doesn't need the magnet that I had in the older version. I didn't like that magnet kind of weakened the point, so I'm trying it without, and we'll see if that works. The armored pocket clip holster turned out so good. Thank you, Thy Music Man. I think you were on the stream when we were designing that. So if anybody's interested in how these holsters get designed, on my other live streams, I basically did the pocket clip version completely live with feedback from the community. So that was a kind of fun, and it was a 2.5-hour stream of just making all of the last second tweaks to get this ready to order. And then after that, the rest of the time was mostly me getting the pricing data ready, getting the product pages ready, getting every one of these renderings out. So you can decide if you want orange or yellow. The only color I did have to exclude because of the variant limit was pink, but nobody's ordered pink on any of the other products in 6 years, so excluded pink. You can maybe buy the red and run it through the dishwasher a few times or something. Manuel, will the saddleback belt fit the horizontal holster? No, it will not. Yeah, the horizontal holster has basically the same opening as the BDU loop. And again, this is the toe belt, and toe belt's just too thick. And I didn't really plan on making a thicker version of the horizontal loop because, like somebody pointed out, the horizontal loop kind of needs to hold your belt a little tighter in order to not slide around on you when you're using it. So unless I made a specific version for the toe belt, no, I'm sorry, it won't fit. You could use a Tek-Lok holster or some other third party that mounted sideways. The Tek-Loks come out sideways or at a 45, which is actually really cool. But some of the Tek-Loks are pretty bulky, so just be aware of those. A quick question for you. Do you know if the VoltC switch fits in the barnacle bit holder you make? No, unfortunately it does not. The VoltBit does. I have the VoltBit on one of my other holsters. It's hiding around here somewhere. Which one did it end up on? Yeah, I don't know which holster I left the the regular VoltBit on. But the Volti switch, because of the feature on the back side, will not fit into the barnacle bit holder. And then the only reason it can fit here is because I had enough space. And actually, I'll show this in CAD better than I can show it here. Let me turn on the side options. And switch off to this view. So I had enough thickness to have a recess, this area here that's highlighted in green right now. And then the barnacle bit holder, though, is basically so narrow in order to keep it so it's not protruding from your tool that the Volti switch, you could put it on without it being docked fully, but as soon as you get to the switch or the epoxy, then it won't fit. But I guess you could kind of leave it on halfway like that if you really wanted to. I usually use my multi-tool for quick jobs, so the free series is perfect for me. I don't need all the bits. Do you have a holster for the free series plus flashlight? No, the answer is, this is asked very often. 1 second here. Probably about once a week, I get the question, can I please put a flashlight onto the side of the holster? And I've only done it for one person on the, so let me look up my custom holster designs that I've done. I used to offer custom service where I would do different designs for other people. And so the only one I ever did was the guy sent me the literal dimensions of his flashlight. Then I had to 3D model it. Then I had to make a holster. He also wanted the drop version. He did pay me for this. So this is the only time I did one, but you can see how bulky it is hanging off the side of the holster. This was for a Leatherman Wave at the time. And the other reality is there's just too many popular flashlights out there. So my recommendation is to use a separate flashlight holster. Now when I'm at work every single day, this is what's hanging on my belt. The Leatherman Arc. Next to it's the flashlight. It's actually usually on this side. And then I actually have my AirPods holster. Not available yet. Probably because I can't sell that guy for very cheap because it's got 3 components and Shapeways charges me on a per component basis. But I might sell a version of a naked version of this soon. But in either case, having separate holsters on there allows your belt to flex and everything anyways, without having that bulk of this kind of hanging off the side. The other answer is there's just way too many popular flashlights, right? Is it a stream light? Is it an O-light? And then which of the 20 small O-lights is it? Which of the 500 different AA battery lights that are out there is it? It's just impossible to do. Now the O-light, I have the design for that, and it's available on the website here under Other Designs. And I have one for the i3S, which fits some of the other AA battery O-lights. And I had that from a long time ago. And then the iMorse or IR2L flashlight holster here. So it fits either that or the iMorse. It doesn't fit, well, I guess it fits the IRL Pro. It fits either of those. And so that's something that I have available for $23. And if you're interested in the iMorse light, I have a review here on it, linked on that webpage there. All right, let's see here. Did you update the barnacle bit holder design to fit the armor pocket clip holster, or the other way around? Adam, I updated the pocket clip to hold the barnacle bit holder. So I believe you were on the stream when we were designing it, and basically the slots got a little wider as far as this, and that actually also frames the actual arc scale a little bit better, because I think I'd even talked about in that stream that I had my scale silver portion a little bit smaller. I've fixed that in my 3D model now, so I think it still looks really good, and it'll fit either the pocket clip or the barnacle bit holder. All right. Howdy, Mr. Zitrikov. He is one of my friends that I play games with, and so he's coming by to troll me. Wonder if you could have a bungee system for a more universal flashlight add-on. Yeah, Zach, I thought about that, but the problem is, like I said, these parts are made on demand, 3D printed, and shipped straight to you. If I ship them to me, even if I bulk order them, bulk ordering them saves maybe 10% of the cost of the product. And that, yeah, sure, I could order them, package them, and ship them back out. And I've calculated all that. And the extra cost in shipping is something I'd have to either pass on to the customer. And then the actual cost of packaging and everything and stocking it, if I wanted to make it available on Amazon. In the end, it came out to pennies on the dollar of difference in profit. That also means an incredible amount of labor and time, and I'm one person. So I don't have the ability to add any other materials or screws or anything else to the products. They are 3D printed the way they are, so that the flashlight holsters end up being all snap fit, which is why, of course, they have to fit very precisely. So I have to have exact dimensions or own the flashlight and actually measure it, which is why I have the O-light, because they sent me one of those a long time ago. All right. Trying to keep my tail of knives MPU holster for my typical ARC Olight pen carry, but would gladly get a slim holster here for the light duty ARC only carry. And I'll show it here. I mean, the slim holster is very slick. So, well, here's the slim armored pocket clip version. So without the bits on the side. And then here's the slim third-party clip. So you can see this is, you know, this is also probably the most economical because it has the least part volume. So this is also the most economical version to order. And then you could always have the pocket clip on there, hanging off there off the front, or you can make it even slicker by removing the pocket clip or barnacle bit holder. And then you have an absolutely slick, tiny package, much smaller than the full bit kit. And, you know, they could be your dressier carry. Goes with your small, basically, suit or something like that. It still has room for bit holders on the back, so you can still have some utility. JRO, I want to say it's been fun to watch the process. Thank you. And again, if anybody wants to check out my live streams that I have previously, I go into a heck of a lot of the design of the whole process of this, and want to make sure everything's good for you. And I think we might be wrapping this up in a little bit. Been streaming for an hour and 46 minutes. I'm looking forward to this holster. I ordered the ARC today. Thank you, Daryl. And we are up to 131 orders today, minus about, let's see here, one. So 149 orders so far. I really appreciate that, folks. I will get details out to you on your estimated ship date. For the most part, if you ordered just the holster and no metal parts, it should be shipping out at the end of the month. There are people here that are ordering more components and pieces, and maybe to get that, I guess I should mention that there's a discount of $10 off if you order 4 or more items. That automatically happens. And then if you look earlier in the chat, and I'll go ahead and dump the link again for at the end of the chat here. So I have a discount code that is good for $4.95 off of either the t-shirt or the mouse pad. It's only good on that Printify merchandise. And that code is only good until tomorrow at 7 p.m. Same time as the stream started, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that code will automatically turn off. Again, that code is not good on the Shapeways, like the holster itself. All right, I'll be sticking around here for maybe another 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and stop right on the hour for any other particular questions. We got 80 people in here right now, so there's still probably some more questions that people have. I can show anything in CAD. If you're even interested in the design of this, or I can show any of the particular configurations. If you want to know like what the bit extender looks like, or from any particular view, by showing the renderings here. And then I'll just, as an example, show all the modular design bodies and geometry that kind of goes in to making these. So there's different belt options, different holster options. There's 4 different kind of central cores, and then there's the side grips, plus the 16 bits on the back. And then these all get modularly added and subtract, or kind of added together in this case, in order to generate the holster, along with basically fully 3D modeling. This will take a second to load, or a fraction of a second to load. So I fully 3D modeled the belt clip, the Tek-Lok products, the 2 different belt sizes, the ratchet driver, 711L holder. Everything is fully 3D modeled in order to develop around it and make sure that everything works for you, along with the physical prototypes that you see me do. Why did you have to make the armored pocket clip so cool? I already set my mind on getting the normal armored holster, so I saw the pocket clip version with a new bridge. Yeah, I think that actually turned out quite well. You guys end up seeing on the live stream, we did a heck of a lot of the design of this, and it wasn't until the physical prototype, even though we did the quick and dirty version, as soon as I prototyped what I consider the final version, I realized that, and let me switch off to the belt clip. Bear with me for a second. What I realized was several people mentioned they wanted the armored version to protect against the tool hitting something else. So if you're, if you're working on somebody's kitchen and put a giant scratch in their stainless steel refrigerator while you're trying to get back behind it, for example, they're not going to be happy. So I realized with this version here that basically the belt clip was still proud because this would push down. Also, this was a little too flexy. Like, this is much stiffer right here. You can see how hard I have to push to flex that. So adding a little bridge over and adding another connection here will stiffen this all up a lot more, plus make it so that you might still end up hitting the very top edge here, but this is much smoother than kind of the lower portion. So having that little bridge over was definitely something that I think people are going to appreciate. It also will work with a barnacle bit holder and go over that, specifically the shape of the barnacle bit holder with a little bit of tolerance. All right, looks like I'm cut up on chat. And let's close this flashlight here. And then for anybody who's come in late, the due to the way my website works, it hid all the other t-shirt pictures, but here you can see the t-shirt, and I'll show this full screen. And it's also in the background of the components. So this is the, what color is this one? This is the military green that I'm wearing right now. They show it a little bit darker on the website, at least on my screen. And then this is the black version here. And it has a really nice finish. The print came out really well. You get nice subtle differences between the colors and things. Now compared to what I'm wearing right now, I did end up needing to remove all the trademark wording. And then this is my diagram that I made. I showed this live on the previous chat here. And let me pull up the file. So this diagram I made using a combination of rendering in KeyShot and then outlines and other things added in Photoshop in order to provide that effect. The version on the t-shirt is black and white without the blue, which actually I think came out better, and I'm glad I converted it to black and white before I sent that out. And if anybody hasn't also caught some of the other live streams that I've done, I will be releasing files so that you can put a ruler. And let me find the picture of the ruler. This is only half of it. In the live stream we actually made the inch side, and I have a jig and everything. In fact, I could show the jig for the folks that were in that stream. So you can take the jig component, which I don't have available to sell yet because I again haven't validated it, and it does need a little bit of adjustment, like it needs some stopping it from folding out. But this was a jig specifically so you could have this flat and laser etch this side and then flip your tool over. Can't do this with that one. There we go. And then laser etch the other side. And those are files that I'll be releasing for free for anybody who's interested in those later on. Oops, wrong buttons. Did you remove the center stiffening rib? Or so did you remove the center stiffening rib? Adam, no, I actually enhanced that center stiffening rib. So if I showed this view, it's kind of hard to see because everything's turned on. Give me 1 second. Let me hide, show just the armored pocket case. So I actually extended that stiffening rib further up and made it a little bit thicker. It won't interfere with the tool still. It's proud of the 2 spring tabs. So that should end up being very nice as far as not even as flexy as my prototype here. Order 2 with the open clipped, pretty strong. So again, the open clip version I consider for light duty use. It is pretty darn strong, but if you ever catch on, say, your seatbelt or something getting out of the car, then you have more leverage on pulling that apart. But otherwise, plenty of people have ordered them. I've only had 2 or 3 report as failed, but those are the only ones I've ever had reported as broken. So if I pull up the image of that, open clip. Just because you're leveraging off one edge. Now, if that ever does break on you, you can go ahead and add something like a third-party clip to it by basically, well, actually, there's an open cutout in the middle of that, so that may not be possible. But the material itself can be drilled and tapped if you ever need to. So if you can add something back if you ever need to do that. All right, I think we're going to call it here. I appreciate everybody that dropped by today. I'm going to be dropping off in a second. For the people who are curious, so 151 orders now. That's out of 708 people that signed up. I'm going to be taking down the pre-sign up since everything's available. And then again, the discount code is in chat here. That discount code is again only good for the Printify products, the t-shirt and the mouse pad. And that gets you $4.95 off of those, which basically either pays for full or half shipping depending on what you're ordering there. And then the holsters themselves, again, will vary a little bit in price, and they have a fixed cost, so that price is dependent on Shapeways. But I think everybody's going to be kind of happy with what you get. Let me know what you think, if there's any other variants that everybody wants. But I think between all the different live streams, a lot of people got their input into the design of this. Let me catch up one more question here. So the third-party clip can be horizontal with Tek-Lok. Yes. So here's a Tek-Lok right here. Let's go ahead and do that plus that. And I'm just going to do this quick and dirty. But if you want to, you can take the Tek-Lok and rotate it 90 degrees. Come on. This has got too many pieces it's trying to snap onto. There we go. So you can mount the Tek-Lok 90 degrees, and then you can also move it a little bit to the right here, but you're going to end up hitting into the bits. So you might need to use the spacers, but yes, you can. You can also do 45 degrees with the Tek-Lok product. Music Man, thanks for the hard work. Soon I'll be able to make up my mind tonight. I'll be ordering 2 holsters and iMorse holster. Can't wait. Oh. What do you meme? Why are you so cool? I'm what you call an uber geek. I'm doing Fallout stuff. I'm doing video game stuff. I'm doing... I just finished designing an entire house and doing the architecture for my parents' retirement home, and showed a little bit of that on my, I think, first or second live stream. I get my hands into anything and everything technical, and I'm just that way. That's one reason why there's all these renderings and things, is that I can't stand not having information, like one product picture for something. So I at least make sure that you can see the product with and without the actual accessories that go with it. All right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm off.